I just wanted to do a little video really today about going to the Wellbeing to the festival in London, and you just never know when you work with energy, as I have for many years. I wrote a book. I've written 3 books and 3 Kindles now. In 2015 I wrote a book called My Silence is Broken. And the more I work with neuroscience, quantum physics, animal healing, I'm working with a lot more horses, dressage particularly, friends are recommending. And just the more I work with energy, the more people just come to me, I think. And as we know, I mean, the body is 72% water. The brain doesn't understand negatives. So just understanding those facts alone. But neuroscience, quantum mechanics, what is quantum mechanics? Conscious movement of possibilities. But today, Jesus, you go to these fairs and you just want to be, and then all of a sudden, I don't know, I had a new t-shirt on today, which is, I'm doing a lot more animal healing worldwide. But I've got a new one called equine healing, because I'm working clearly with a lot more horses. And then this man approached me and sort of talked about horses. And then in a really short time, sort of said that he had been abused for 17 years. And he was now the age of 35. And his only regret was that he hadn't told anyone sooner. And I said to him that any survivor always, and I've worked with hundreds of survivors over the years, always blames themselves. I was too drunk, had drugs, alcohol, short skirt, dark lane, shouldn't have gone here, peer pressure, blah 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 blah. No, sorry, it doesn't justify rape, doesn't justify sexual violence, but for this guy to come out and a complete stranger to actually then tell me sort of what had gone on, wow. And then his story of if only I'd had, and that's why I wrote the book. It's my Silence is Broken. It's on Amazon and Kindle. Never ever in 18 odd years of studying mind body therapeutic stuff and various other occupations I've had will people ever come up and say I was raped last night, or 30-40 years ago I was raped, can I tell you my story? It's just never going to happen. It's nice that people can go on Amazon, they can Google search sexual abuse, sexual violence, rape, date rape, addictions, etc. They can find my book, My Silence is Broken. They can then download it, buy it. They can do the exercises, which is based around 18-19 years therapeutic intervention, 6 years working with sex offenders, 4 years as a police officer. They then realise that it wasn't their fault. It's not your fault. They then, and results have shown that they then tell somebody. But just, that's what I love, is just being available to help people. And for a guy particularly, to speak out and say that he'd been sort of sexually abused for 17 years. And as I say, he's now 35. Well, it was only, sorry, not 35, he's a lot older now. Only when 35, 36, and then he just regretted. Have no regret, no shame. It's sort of, I mean, even current today, what are we now? May 2019. Current, more sports news is coming out of abuse that's gone on, and there's not really an organisation that, sadly, it hasn't happened. It's the world we live in, sadly, which is not acceptable. It's not your fault. I would like to think I can help people around the world. I have connections with Australia, France, Germany, America. the animal healing that I do, it's amazing how many animals tell me their owners have been affected by abuse, which is really nice, really, because when you think about it, obviously when you're on your own, you then tell animals your story, and you think, well, no one will ever know because I'm just talking to my animal. But when the animal sort of then gets ill and wants to tell me their story, then that's really interesting. And then I've had many a Skype or Zoom or phone calls from people, or I've spoke to after doing a reading on their animal, and then they say, wow, how did you know? Like, well, your horse, your rabbit, your kangaroo, your cat, your dog told me. And they're like shocked, and they're like, why do they say that? And like, well, you really wanted that animal to sort of give you an outlet, and I'm very grateful. So I'm really pleased. So I just really wanted to just do this little video because it's really important. I mean, to go into London today, just on the off chance, and then a guy comes to me and sort of said, he'd been abused for 17 years and wish he had more confidence to do so. So I've worked with many hundreds of females and males, and it's a growing concern. More and more media coverage is now getting, but anyway, my book which I wrote in 2015, it's my third book. It's called My Silence is Broken. It's available on Amazon. It's Kindle. You can download it, buy it. People don't need to buy it. Do the exercises if you want to get in touch. GarySellers.com. Email me. wellbeingconsultant.co.uk. But please sort of share the video. Sadly, most people nowadays know someone that's been abused or affected by sexual violence. Hopefully this helps. I'm here to help. Please DM me, and message, Facebook, Instagram, whatever bleeding goes on. You'll get in touch if you need to, and I do wish you the best. Thank you very much.